How a rocker got back into one of the greatest backup bands of all time on Rock History Music. I've talked about this before. Neil Giraldo getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Great performer, did production, did writing, was the right-hand man to Pat Benatar. He's her husband. But he got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which made a lot of people say, well, wait a minute. If Neil can get in, then you have set precedent on background performers, people in the band. And when it comes to greatest bands of the 70s, Billy Joel would be up there. There's a lot of bands that backed up great performers, but they weren't in a band. They were backing up a performer. Neil Diamond is easily another one. But one of the greatest is the Elton John Band. Davy Johnston, Nigel Olsson on drums, Davy on guitar, Dee Murray, the bass player. But before the fame was Caleb Quay, used to sneak Elton John into the recording studio, was also part of his band, and was on the early albums up to Madman Across the Water. Caleb left the band on that album when Davy Johnson came in, played mandolin, started playing guitar, became a major part of the group. The core group, as most of you know in the Elton John Band, was, I'll say it again, Nigel Olsson on drums, Dee Murray on bass, Davy Johnston on guitar. They all sang background vocals. Ray Cooper was in there. But after 1975's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Deer Cowboy, Elton John wanted a rougher sound. He kicked out Dee Murray and Nigel Olsson, brought in Roger Pope on drums, and Caleb Quay came back on guitar. Roger was also on the earlier albums, by the way. We talk about how Caleb Quay got into one of the best backing bands, again, of all time on Rock History Music.
Okay, Rock of the Westies. By the way, was it a call? Hey, Caleb, come on back. What did that look like to get you back into that band?
Oh, I was thrilled. Actually, it was, yes, I did get a call, but I got a heads up from Roger Pope, my good friend, Roger Pope. Yeah, I was living in Chicago at the time. So this is 74. And Elton came to Chicago. And at the time, Roger was playing, in Kiki Dee's band. So Kiki Dee was opening up the show for Elton. So I went and saw them in Chicago, and I hadn't seen Roger in a while, so met with him.
So wait a minute. Let me interrupt you. So this is before, because Captain Fantastic came out in 75. So was it 74?
Yeah.
Wow. That far back, eh?
Yeah, 74. Yeah, absolutely. And so Roger was packing up his drums after the show, and I went up there and was talking to him. And he said to me, hey, man, he said, just so you know, Elton's going to be changing the band. I said, what? Yep. He says, I'm in it, and I've put your name in there, so get ready. He's going to call you. I said, okay, great, So sure enough, towards the end, it would have been about, I'm going to say around November of 74. He calls me in Chicago. I'm freezing in Chicago. And he tells me, I want to fly you out. When you to join it, tells me what's going on, I'm going to fly you out to the tennis ranch in Scottsdale, Arizona. That's where he was on vacation or whatever, taking a break, I said, great. So he flew me out there and we talked about it, and I said, that'd be great. And I said, I'll join on one condition. He said, what's that? I said that we don't play Crocodile Rock. And he said, okay.
I mean, you can't help it. The thing is, on a primal level, music, you either like something or you don't like it.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like a choice. I mean, right. It's if you don't like something, you don't. It's not. When we were kids, and hopefully our parents would say, "Well, that little girl over there doesn't like you because you're an apple and she's an orange." There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you either like something or you don't. It either fits or it doesn't.
I did not want to play that. I hated that song, and I didn't want to be playing it every night. And here's the funny thing: we didn't play it until the final gig at Madison Square Garden. He pulled it out. As if to say F you and everybody else. Yeah.
It's So when was the last time you had seen Elton when you went to meet him in Scottsdale? When?
Oh, prior to that, gosh.
Did you guys run into each other since Madman? I mean,
Oh yeah, we had, oh yeah. And I honestly can't remember the last time before that. It might have been a gig in England or something. Or actually, well, let me see. In 72, Hookfoot and Elton were touring the US together.
Okay.
And so we would open up some shows for him, and then we go out, and then the tour would split up. We go out on our own, so that was 72. So
was that Don't Shoot Me?
I'm sorry?
Was that would have been Don't Shoot Me, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. And so 72, 73, we would bump into each other,
Who came up with the that Grow Some Funky Your Own? Who came up with that riff?
Actually, that was Elton on the piano. And then Davey and I just
emulated it.
Yeah, took it on the guitar. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
and it was all part of the song. It was all written into the song.
I feel who's doing the I Feel Like a Bullet, you were on there. Who's doing that kind of lamenting guitar solo, that kind of?
That's me.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Because you're channeling something there, man. I mean, I hate to put words in your mouth because you're the one that did it, and I certainly didn't. I just listened to it. That has stayed with me for years. You just did it. You just
Yeah, and I can tell you where it comes from. That kind of tone, that was influenced by Steve Stills, particularly on the song "Wooden Ships" off the first Crosby, Stills and Nash album. Yeah.
Remember, make sure you subscribe to our channel, join our Patreon, get early access to our videos. You can make a donation to the channel. There's a link in the very top of the description. Buy a t-shirt, spread the word. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music.